again, I'll pass this around to you, but it basically lists everything that we're going to do, and it requests things that we think that they should do if they're not willing to sign a buyer broker agreement. The most professional way to deal with it is to get a buyer broker agreement. Whether you take it home, whether you're not, and the reality is, you want to get somebody contractually obligated to you. I believe in my own strength, even when I go on a listing agreement. I went on a listing agreement last night. We went over everything, he signed the agreement, he says it's 3 months, right? I said 3 months? No. You don't want to do that to yourself. The minute you sign a 3-month listing agreement, and the other agent is looking at it and going, he's weak, the deal is weak, the listing is weak. If you're at the end of the listing agreement, you're 2 months, they may wait, hold off with a buyer. They may try to market it themselves. I looked at him and I said, I'll take a 6-month listing agreement, which is the smallest listing agreement that we take, normally 9 months or a year. But I'll take a 6 months, and I will write on the listing agreement, I will give you a full release, no questions asked, if you're not happy with my service. And nobody has ever gotten away with giving me a 3-month listing, because I don't want it. I don't want it because it makes them look weak, it makes me look weak. And we're starting off on the wrong foot, thinking that I can't get the job done. And I will especially won't take it if it's not priced at or below the market value. So, we came up with something for people because I believe that a buyer intake is equally as important as a listing appointment. Meet them for coffee, do a Zoom. In my opinion, a phone conversation does not mean that you've met somebody. They book an appointment. Yes, that's better than having a phone conversation, but I will invariably do Zoom intakes. And we will go on and we will tell them, if you see an open house you want to go to, if you see a property that I didn't show you, we're going to do the heavy lifting. But this is a team effort. Don't go to the open house. Here's my electronic card. Call me. If I can't take you, one of my agents can't take you, I will call that agent like we discussed and create a VIP customer experience for you, because those agents know me. They know who I am, they know who I am in the food chain, and if they don't, I will make sure they do. But we go through what our expectations are with that person. Because I'm going to do the heavy lifting, this is a team effort. You see something, you see an open house, call us, we'll get you there, we'll accompany you. But we created something else, we'll pass this around again. If you're interested, just make a list of what you want, let Lydia know. This is called our VIP loyalty agreement. It basically manages our expectations without it being binding. But at least we've recorded our expectations. It's the same thing, do any of you guys use a cost adjustment when you take an overpriced listing? Like the guy wants $1.3 million, you know the house is $1.2 million at max. You tell him I'll go out at $1.3 million, for 2-3 weeks. If it doesn't, we have to come back and have a discussion. So what am I doing? I am memorializing the conversation because they have very convenient memories. No, I don't recall that. If I couldn't get $1.3 million, I don't think I would have done the listing. Oh no, here's our conversation. And I use 4 basic 5 metrics. And I will go back to them and say, if I'm not getting showing appointments, if I'm not getting reshows, if I'm not getting positive feedback, if I'm not getting offers, and we're lingering on the market, it ain't my marketing. I have my own dedicated marketing director. I answer to a higher authority because she happens to be my wife. She's full-time, and we are state-of-the-art. I mean, I've met with every expansion team on the block, and I don't think anybody has the equivalent to what we have on the marketing side. So I know it's not my marketing. The market is telling you you're overpriced. Here's our recorded document that said that we were. Anyway, this is the VIP loyalty agreement. Any questions about open houses, vetting out buyers, sellers?
Quick question.
Yes.
Something else. How many members do you have in your team, if I may ask?
You can. I don't want to say I rape my agents.
Not really.
But
How many?
No, I'm going to answer you because we have them at different levels. So we have 3 solid listing buyer agents that do both jobs, that go on their own listing appointments, and that all have capped. And of course, our cap is 30, but they're on my team, so I'm allowed to give them a half cap. So when I say they capped at 15. I have 3 other agents that I brought on through my showing agent program that I would say that they're at a B level. They can go on a listing appointment. We'll generally accompany them or send the marketing or send one of the 3 agents with them, but they can do it on their own. They have moved up, and one of them is 200% year over year in production, the other 90, and the other one capped. And I would say that they are a B-level agent, and we have 3 that are there, and then we probably have 4 or 5 newbies in various stages that are most likely part-time, but moving along the grid.
About 10.
Yeah.
About 10.
Yeah.
So the 3 top one, how long are they with you there?
My son and Brad.
Son is son, God bless him.
Well, no, but he joined me around when we came over, so he's with me 9 years. Ed Keller, Brad and Luke are there 5 years. Laura probably about 4, and the others roughly 2 to 3.
So the question is the 30, 60, 90, why they don't move by themselves? Why they staying with the team?
Don't go on a team.
Don't go on the team.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't go.
No.
I want to open the team.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
I'm going to answer you.
There's a question.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
question I want to ask.
And that's why I don't want to be your last, but I want to go at it. The answer is because they see the value proposition in being part of a team. Now, they have to do nothing as far as marketing. My overhead to run that team is roughly $50K a month. Marketing director, 2 VAs, admins, lead generation sources, 18 to 20 of them. I can go on and on. There is a team in Philadelphia. He's part of KW. He came on 1 year after me, so roughly about 4 years ago. His name is Mike McCann. He was at family reunion. Gary brought him up on stage, made a big deal out of him. There is a guy in his team. His name is James Onesti. James does 150 million himself and never left Mike's team. There is a reason that people will be okay doing only branded marketing on Instagram and Facebook. There is a reason why they will. And I'm not telling you that a team isn't a chew and spit out thing, because we have a lot of people that come on board and they think they want a team, and they'll come on and they'll go gangbusters like they're on that team, and then ultimately it doesn't work out for them because you give them a listing and they go work the buyer, and it was a 400K co-op, and they got $4,000, and Keller Williams took 1,200, and then they look at it and say, I did all that work and all I got was 2,800. Well, you wouldn't have had that 2,800.
Correct.
So the value proposition, I didn't bring it today because I'm not here to recruit, but the value proposition is a lot lengthier than any of the documents that I have here and what we bring to the table. So if you have a value proposition and you can help people grow their world as big as they want inside of your world, and you can take them to that next level, they will see the value proposition. If you can't, they will leave you. And Gary Keller, and they may leave you for no good reasons whatsoever. Gary Keller says that people don't leave companies, they leave people. People will leave a Keller Williams office or an exit office because the office doesn't add to them. And they think that they can get a better value somewhere else. You need to constantly be addressing that value, and you need to be constantly stressing your value proposition. We have 2 meetings every week, Monday and Friday. Every time I'm on, I'm adding value to them. Resources. Our Angie's List kicks Angie in the ass. Situational. Somebody's got a problem on a deal. They nicknamed me Lazarus. I raise the dead. There's a reason that people will subjugate their ego to be part of a team. And the reason is their 1099, their expertise, the level of expertise that they gain and leverage.
How do you get the new members?
How do I get new members?
Yes.
Partially from my showing agent, partially from recruiting. I insist that my agents recruit. If my agents do a deal with someone who they came back and said to me is a really good agent, I'll look at him and go, why isn't she in the downline? When I went to Keller, I told you I came 5 years ago. I did have the opportunity to launch a market center.
Westbury.
Woodbury.
Woodbury.
But I was avidly recruiting for that market center and for my own downline. I have about 150 people in my downline, and over the course of the 5 years that I'm with Keller Williams, my profit share exceeds well over 100,000. Now each year it grows exponentially because in year 1 I only had so many people in, and the office only did X amount of dollars. I'm going to explain that before I pass it. So at the end of the day, each year it grows. I don't know if you guys heard, unfortunately, about a dear friend of mine, Adina Zarian, who was an agent that was a team leader originally in Keller Williams, moved out to the Hamptons, had a baby, and was in a fateful plane crash. Paid all the papers. Adina's estate, because unfortunately she lost her child along with her in that plane crash. Sorry. Gets $4,000 a month. There's a woman in McKissick, Texas, who passed away to cancer, and whose daughter's getting a check for $12,000 a month. When you're with a company like Keller Williams, and you look at our value proposition, I kind of refer that question back to why are people with Keller? Why do people leave Keller? There's a value proposition at Keller Williams. High splits, capping, disappearing cap, profit share. These things make a difference for an agent that is plugged into the ecosystem that we have and that uses them to their advantage. So it's always about value. If people don't see value, they will leave. If they see the value, they will stay. And I think somewhere along the line, it's our job to show them that value and explain to them that the leverage that we add to them. So, let's talk about buyers, because you all saw the VIP. This is something else that we use. You guys used it through COVID. You heard about it ad nauseum. There's probably nothing new. But we have something called competitive advantages for buyers in multiple offer negotiations. Now, who you are as an agent makes a difference, and you should use that where you can. But this goes into the various ways that you can put more teeth in an offer. I mean, in COVID, we got VA loans done with nothing down. We got loans done where there were multiple people and they were putting down FHA loans. So some of these things, and you can pass this around again if you're interested, will help you along with, that buyer in being able to, get them on board.
I have a question.
Yes.
Earlier you did say that you have like two people who do VA.
I have virtual assistants.
Virtual assistants.
Virtual
All right,
assistants.
cool.
Yeah, I have. When you get to the
Yeah.
point that you are looking at admins,
Okay, yeah.
that is an option. It's an option if you are systematized. I used to be in the apparel business. If we sent over a shirt that we bought overseas to knock off, and it had 6 buttonholes and 5 buttons because 1 button fell off, when they made the counter sample, it had 5 buttons and 6 buttonholes.
Which company?
Which company was I
In
in?
apparel, yes, me too.
Yeah, so I had 2 companies. One was Tomorrow's Dream, which was the founder of the fashion revolution in women's large size clothing. And the other one was called Silver Threads, women's sportswear. You?
It was a chain of store, 12 stores.
Retail.
The name was Yellow Rat Bastard. I don't know if you know them.
I know that shit. Oh, excuse me. I know that.
Yeah. 12 stores, I was the buyer for 6 of them. So
Nice.
that's why I asked you which
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
26 years.
So just like, you were talking about, you remember when you go into the showroom at a sportswear manufacturer,
Yeah.
and you were talking to the buyer, and the buyer would say, I like those, I want that, but I need it for 2/28 delivery.
Right. Spring delivery.
And you know that you can't get it out till March. They would give the salesman a hard time. You know what I did when they wanted it for 2/28? I said, hold on a second. And I call out my production manager. Hey, Joe, come to the showroom. Joe, they're interested in this. When can I get it from? Not before 3:15. The buyer. Okay, no problem. The salesman, it would have been a problem. The production person wouldn't have been a problem. You tell your kid don't swim, there's a riptide, it's a problem. Lifeguard tells your kid don't swim, there's a riptide, stay the hell out of the water. The point of authority, the point of confidence, is where you want to be. I call it, I'm a movie guy as you can guess, over the top, right? If you're doing an arm wrestle, you want to come up and over.
That's the one.
And the only way you can come up and over is to have that level of confidence in your own expertise. And if you can't fake it till you make it, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit but never lie. That's my motto. Any other questions? How are we doing for time? Okay.
I have a quick question for you.
Hold on, I gotta put money in the meter. Where's Lydia? Give me 1 second.